guys, welcome to Better Bachelor. My name is Joker with a face for radio and a voice for print. If you didn't see my other video I put out today, it bleeds nicely into this one. My other one was about the strong, independent woman that all of a sudden realized they're going to have to work for the rest of their lives, and now they're like, uh-oh. But she was a young gal of 22. This gal, she's not 22, and she was an Only Fools content creator. And this is LARPing. It's a trap. This is LARPing for fans. She doesn't really feel like this. Trust me. I know. You guys know. And for those of you that don't mean LARP, understand what LARPing means, it means live action role playing. She's just playing a part. I'm going to tell you, the damage that these girls do to themselves is permanent. You know, you can change the hair, you can change the clothes, you can take the girl out of the streets, but you can't take the streets out of the girl. So this is a story from Evie. Only Fools girl turned trad wife. Are women grifting off a trend, or is it a redemption arc? It's a grift. Trust me. More and more women are leaving toxic party-fueled lifestyles behind, but are scrutinized by people thinking they're narcissistically adopting new trad personalities for clout, which they are. Some are still secretly partaking in the degeneracy they disavow online, but with others, it appears they've truly undergone a genuine redemption arc. But no. And I'll tell you why. Swiping through TikTok, you come across a young woman dolled up in the kitchen wearing a puff sleeve prairie dress, cinched in by a pink apron. Her long, loose, ombre blonde curls fall delicately down her décolletage. Décolletage. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Her kitchen's immaculate, blah, blah, blah. Gwen the milkmaid, urban homesteads, but dream of a farm with cows where she can home birth children and frolic in her garden barefoot. That's how you know this is a LARP, is because she's talking about farming and milking cows where she can have her kids at home, like literally having them at the house, and be in her garden barefoot. This is such a... And her account name is Gwen the Milkmaid. That's how you know that she's suckering people, because she's playing a part. She's just an actress in a role. Trust me, that'll last about 17 minutes after you sign the marriage papers. Turns out she's quite willing to share her past as a pro-baby deletion, anti-marriage, lesbian feminist. But while she asserts that she's changed over the last 10 years, the milkmaid may not have realized that the internet isn't so forgiving. The internet keeps its receipts. Gwen the Milkmaid recently became one of the several trad influencers who got exposed for having a polar opposite online persona. Gwen Gwiz, the Only Fools model, who also has an ASMR YouTube channel that features saucy content. And she did it, I think, at the same time by the sounds of this. By the sounds at the same time. So, again, this is adopting the personality. Now, if you watched my other video, this young gal here at 22 is probably redeemable. You can probably save her. Like, again, doesn't look like she has the tattoos and all the other crap. This girl, too late. It's a grift. Let's see. They say whether genuine Only Fools models or just party girls who used to flaunt their glamorous lifestyles on social media, there's a puzzling trend of conservative influencers with promiscuous pasts. In the case of Gwen the Milkmaid, she conveys to her audience she is reformed and has moved away from her past. But critics online claim she's still not as trad as she may want people to think. Look, here's the thing. Here's how I know this is a grift, and here's how you know not to get suckered in. Let me mark my place here. Is because, number one, she went from full-on left, you know, all the things they said, baby deletion, you know, feminist, and she liked the ladies. So she used to date the ladies. But now in the span of 10 years, you're going to tell me that she doesn't like her Only Fools past. That's possible. She now all of a sudden likes guys. That means, if that's true, that means she was lying about liking the ladies, which is another lie. She isn't doing this for a clout, which is a lie. And now she wants to wear summer dresses and dress like a prairie girl and go barefoot and tend a garden and milk cows? No, I'm sorry. No. Now, if she had just said, you know something, I think I do want a family. I think I was wrong about deleting the kids. But I still think men and women should be equal. And, I want to have a career, maybe part-time, but I'd like to stay at home with my man. And I'd like us to both cook, and we both split the household chores. If you told me she went from only fools far left to that, I'm in. I could believe that. But you're going to tell me now she wants to milk cows and get out of here. They say it begs the question, is it possible to have real redemption arc? No. I talked to Ada Lutch and Morgan Ariel, two former party girls turned conservative influencers who escaped their wild past and believe that many more women can follow in their steps. Here's the problem while I struggle with this, is because they still call themselves influencers, or they're still influencers. They're still grifting. They're still making money off of this. And trad guys and maybe more conservative guys are like, oh, okay, I forgive you for your past. I'm in. And they watch this stuff, and these women make money off of it. So, of course, it's a grift. Ariel became involved in festival culture after she found success selling LED flower crown accessories at shows and concerts. She recalled feeling like she was making a positive impact at the time with her business. Because everybody else was around her partying, she was inclined to party too. So right off the bat, no, she's not taking responsibility for her own actions. It was everybody else's fault. They were partying, so I decided to party too. I felt inclined, like I had to. She took illicit substances, developed a drinking problem. In her own words, she dressed like a Jezebel. In other words, she was a club girl. I guarantee, and she was taking the substances. So, there's many mornings she woke up and she was like, where am I? Who is this dude? What did I do last night? No idea. We'll try again next weekend. Lutch lived every wanderlust-driven girl's dream after a part-time modeling gigs led her to leave medical school in Barcelona and move to Ibiza. She was invited to yachts and other elite parties. Okay, now we might be slipping into party girl, definitely sleeping with the rich guys on the yacht, maybe taking some money for some fun, or maybe to get it crapped on by, I don't know, an oil prince. She might have gotten a little dookie dropped on her face for $100,000. But while deeply ingrained in Ibiza's Insta-worthy festivities, she started to feel empty. Okay, right. I finally had the life I always dreamed of, and I never felt emptier in those months. I saw women selling themselves. There you go. See, if she sees others selling themselves, maybe she's doing it as well. I think, you know how women will not take responsibility for things they've done, and it's everybody else's fault? I bet she did it as well. She might have been a professional. Living a life that wasn't real. I saw the depravity of all the stuff in the women's bodies and the mundanity of this world. And she says, and I'm sure God put me in that place to wake me up finally. Is this let me adjust the volume so I don't blow ears out here. Spent my weekends waved. It's crappy music, so I can't play it. Was never be alone. She's smoking something. Unresolved trauma. Okay, so this girl's got a bunch of problems, man. This girl's got a bunch of problems. Oh, can you pause these? Oh, but you can't rewind it. Darn it. She was into some of the weird stuff in the bedroom too. It flashed by really, really quickly. This is a party girl. But here's the thing. You know what? She was just like everybody else. Now she's like every other party girl out there. She says, I surrendered my life to Jesus. He cleaned me up, freed me from sin, made me anew, walking in my new purpose. And this has 4,700 likes. And now she's talking to at a convention. Okay. You know what? I'm trying, y'all. I'm trying to be open-minded because there does need to be a path of forgiveness to people that have done wrong. I genuinely believe that. There does need to be a path to forgiveness for people that have done wrong. Well, you can see it right here. She says, I'm taking back the rainbow. And she's wearing like spandex and a tight shirt. And here she is in a belly shirt with like a hug fitting dress, and it's selfie and it's selfie and it's selfie and it's she hasn't changed any. I want to give her the benefit of the doubt, but I'm at this point I'm so jaded. I really struggle to believe it. Now she's a self-driven, purpose-driven person. All of a sudden, God illuminated my eyes and the sin and the filth of where I was and what I was taking around me. He spoke to me clear as day and said, I've told you you don't belong here. Get out now. So I was scared and left and never went back. I want to give her, you know what? Here's the thing. Okay, here's how I can manage this. I will give her the benefit of the doubt. I will. I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. I would still not date her. I would still not make her a wife. I would still not have a child with her. And I would say, hey, good luck to you and hope everything works out for you. And so maybe we can do two things at once. Maybe we can give her the benefit of the doubt that maybe she was saved and she now wants to be a traditional wife, and she wants to leave the partying and the debauchery behind, and she wants to be a good woman to somebody. I will take her word for it. I, however, would not trust it. I, however, would not date her. I just wouldn't risk it. I still wouldn't risk it. They get into this more like once you've been publicly sexualized, can you ever go back? Can you ever go back? Like Only Fools and all this other stuff. If you go out there, and here she's talking about she makes her rent in 4 days doing this content. And she says, I really don't have that many fans. And it's the same thing. They talk about how these women are making all this money, and here's other women saying, oh, it's the worst decision. I don't know. I'm not going to read all this stuff because, my God, this goes on and 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 on. Here's the thing. I want a path of redemption for everybody. I used to be a horrible person. I used to be pretty narcissistic. I used to stretch the truth and get creative with my activities so that I could try to date and bed women when I was a younger gent. If somebody said I'm still like that and they wouldn't trust me, my feelings would be hurt. They would be, because I'm not that person anymore. I did learn from it. So I do know redemption arcs are possible. I feel in many ways I've lived one. I was not a very good person. I've learned a lot of lessons, and that's why I wanted to start doing this channel, so maybe I could pass them on. So when somebody says, you know what, I did some bad stuff, and I've found religion, or I've found that I was doing the wrong thing, and I want to clean up my life, and I want to do the right thing, and I want to be a good person and not be this anymore. I'm fine with that. I'm okay with that. What makes me nervous about it, though, is now they're getting a lot of attention and likes and clicks because of this new persona. And that makes me wonder, is it genuine? Or are they just, is it just a new way to separate themselves from most of the other people that are on these social media sites? And secondly, even if I give them the benefit of the doubt and I believe them, they still were party girls. They still had, the high body counts. They still took the illicit substances. They still had a lot of... Have they really healed from that? Because that takes years and years of therapy, and the body count stuff never goes away. That's permanent. So do they then have their traditional marriage with a traditional man, and they have a kid, and then one day they wake up and they go, I'm bored. I'm bored of this. I'm going to go back online or do something else. And a good supposed redemption arc for this is Mia Khalifa. She did the content. She only did the content for 3 or 6 months. She did the movies and stuff. And then she said, this isn't right for me. This isn't working out for me. And then she went on a grand tour of why women should stay away from that and all the bad things it can do to you. And then she got married. And then she started doing an OnlyFans content. Now, granted, she doesn't go, all the way, but she posts herself in bikinis and little tiny stuff, and she makes money from it. And she gets married. And then what happens? And I said this was going to happen before it even happened. Then it happened. She divorces him, and she leaves him. and now she's back out on the market. She's still making money on the Only Fools. She didn't change a thing. Only that she wished she hadn't, done the saucy content. But the problem is with that, I think she got a bad contract and a bad deal, and she felt she wasn't making enough money for it. Maybe if she made enough money, she wouldn't have recanted on that. This is a tough one. I like videos because even in the middle of this, I can change my mind about things. I like when that happens. I try to keep an open mind to all things. And so in the beginning of this, I was just going to razz on all these girls and be like, oh, it's just a grift. I would not fall in love with these women. I wouldn't, me personally. But if somebody said, you know what? I've dated her a while. I want to give her a chance. I know about her past. I want to give her a chance. Good luck to you. That's not for me. I wouldn't shame anybody for doing it because I do believe that there is somebody for everybody and you do deserve a second chance. I just struggle, fellas. I don't think you pull yourself out just as quickly because the problem is that it's still all about the social media. Yeah, here's another one. Born Again Steph. And, she's talking about, oh, he took me camping for the first time. She looks bored already. We'll see. Time will tell. All right, guys. I'll leave it at that one. Let me know what you think down below. I'm really curious. By the way, what I would have had to blur is it was photos of supposedly Jesus on the cross, and it showed him not in a very, very mangled and badly. So I'm going to have to blur that. I haven't even watched my words because YouTube's crazy. Well, let me know what you guys think down below. I'm really, really curious. Let me know. I always like having discussions about this. What would you guys do? Would you give it a chance? Would you say, hey, you know what? I'll take her word for it, but I wouldn't date her. Do you think this is just another grift? I'll be interested to see what guys think below. All right, guys, we'll leave it there. We'll see you in the next one.